In the vast Kalahari Desert of Africa lives a tribe known as the Bushmen. These people have never ventured into the outside world. They've lived for generations in harmony with nature, finding joy and contentment in their simple way of life. Though the desert has a harsh climate and a severe water shortage, among them is a man named She, who, unlike others, once ventured into the modern world with a glass bottle, as seen in the first part of the movie. After returning, She tells his people about what he saw beyond the desert, an outside world full of noise, crowds, and strange beings who he believes are gods. These outsiders possess powerful and mysterious technologies. They can make things fly or crash without touching them, but She also notices that these gods seem helpless without their gadgets. The next day, some men from the modern world arrive in the Kalahari to hunt elephants. However, due to the water shortage, they are forced to turn back. Meanwhile, life continues peacefully in the Bushman's camp. Early one morning, She prepares to go hunting. His two sons approach him and the younger one insists on coming along. She gently explains that he's still too small and wouldn't scare off a hyena. To help him understand, she measures the boy's height against his bow. The boy is shorter, and she tells him that one day he'll grow taller than the bow, then he'll be ready to hunt. The boy agrees, feeling hopeful for the future. In the meantime, in America, we are introduced to Anna, a lawyer who is preparing to travel to the Kalahari Desert for an assignment. Back in the jungle, She is carrying fruits with his children when he learns that an elephant has been injured nearby. He tells his sons to return home while he goes to help the wounded animal. As the two boys head back, they come across strange tracks on the ground, something they've never seen before. Curious and a little frightened, they follow the tracks and stumble upon something unusual. A jeep? One of the boys crawls under the vehicle and sees water dripping from it. They believe it must be a god's machine sent to bless the earth with water. Convinced that this machine is sacred and produces water, they climb onto the vehicle and peek inside. They're stunned. There's more water inside than they've ever seen in their lives. Suddenly, the driver starts the Jeep, unaware that two children are on the roof. The boys panic and try to jump off, but can't, so they cling on tightly as the Jeep drives deeper into the jungle. Meanwhile, She reaches the injured elephant only to find it's already dead. What disturbs him more is that the elephant's tusks have been forcibly removed, something he finds deeply unnatural and cruel. Seeing the scene, She was now convinced that some strange people had definitely been here. But what puzzled him was, why did they take the elephant's tusks and leave such a massive elephant behind? She thought, I need to go back and bring my family here. They began heading toward home, but after walking a bit, She noticed that the footprints of his children had vanished. He realized that they must have ridden away on whatever that strange thing was. She asked Kago to go back home and inform the family about the elephant, and he set off alone to find his children. Meanwhile, in Africa, Anna had arrived to give a speech at a conference. Just then, a man approached and invited her to explore the African jungle with him. Anna had never seen the real jungles of Africa, so she agreed. The two set off on a small airplane to tour the wilderness. Along the way, they saw many wild animals, and eventually the man landed the plane in a remote clearing. As they got out, a camouflaged vehicle approached, and a man stepped out. His name was Steven, a wildlife doctor. Suddenly, Steven received a call about a sick animal and said he had to return to the city with Anna. Soon, strong winds started blowing, and as Steven flew the plane higher into the sky, breathing became difficult due to the altitude. While they were still airborne, the plane engine suddenly died. They had run out of fuel. Steven asked Anna to hand him a bottle of alcohol, poured it into the tank, and somehow managed to restart the engine using the liquor. The plane got going again, but just before landing, the winds picked up once more, and the plane ran out of fuel again. Now they had no obvious way to survive, but due to the storm, their plane ended up hanging atop another abandoned plane. Miraculously, both survived and climbed down. Anna was furious and yelled at Steven. He told her they should head back to the hotel, but they were 400 kilometers away from the nearest town. Hearing this, Anna sat down in frustration, and just then, a giant lizard appeared nearby. Terrified, she climbed on top of Steven. Still panicked, Anna asked, "Who's going to rescue us here?" Steven replied, "Well, maybe in a day, or in a week. A rescue team might show up." Anna snapped, "I have to be in New York by Wednesday, and there's no food. I'll starve." Steven calmly replied, "We have plenty of food, but water might be an issue. We still have a few cans of beer to get us through for now." Kissa and his younger brother Kiku were traveling in a van through a dry, remote area. Suddenly, they became extremely thirsty, so Kissa decided to go fetch some water for both of them. While trying to reach into a large water tank, he accidentally fell in. Seeing this, Kiku panicked and climbed on top of the tank to help his brother. But instead of rescuing him immediately, Kissa handed Kiku some water first. After drinking, Kiku tried pulling Kissa up, but he kept slipping because of Kissa's weight. Kissa then shouted, "You come down here instead, then you can help push me up, and once I'm out, I'll pull you up too." Kiku jumped into the tank. Surprisingly, he enjoyed splashing around in the water. After some effort, the two brothers finally managed to climb out. Now both were starving. Kissa climbed onto the van to reach some fruits from nearby trees. But while reaching for them, he accidentally hit a branch and fell down. Dazed but okay, he suddenly spotted the van rolling away and ran after it. Kiku, seeing Kissa disappear and now alone in the van, began to cry. He didn't know what to do or where the van was heading. Cut to another scene. Up in the sky, Steven was flying a small plane overhead. He looked down and realized the van was heading somewhere strange. "I need to land this plane if we're going to get back to the hotel in a day or two," he thought. Soon Anna joined him in the cockpit. "We need to find food before nightfall," she said. So the two went on a food hunt. That's when they spotted an ostrich guarding her eggs. Steven turned to Anna and said, "Pretend to be an ostrich and distract her." While Anna did her best bird impression, Steven snuck in to steal an egg, but the ostrich saw him and chased after him furiously. Steven barely escaped, but they got the egg, cooked it, and slept well that night. The next morning, Steven prepared to land the plane, but while working, he accidentally stepped on a wild animal hiding in the grass. The angry creature bit and punctured the plane's tire. Steven tried to escape and finally scared it away by waving his shoe like a weapon. With the tire now flat, takeoff seemed impossible, but Steven came up with a wild idea. He poked a hole in the plane's floor and explained a trick to Anna. Anna got into the plane, and Steven gave it a push from the side while running with it. The plane slowly picked up speed and then took off. But Steven lost his balance and fell. He had forgotten to teach Anna how to land. Steven began running after the plane. Inside, Anna had no clue how to fly. She randomly pressed a button. It turned off the engine. The plane started dropping. She pressed another button and a parachute deployed from the back, but it got stuck in a tree. Now the plane was hanging from a branch. Just then, a cheetah appeared below. Panicked, Anna restarted the engine. The loud noise scared the cheetah away. Meanwhile, a monkey had been watching the whole thing and was thoroughly entertained. Anna climbed out of the hanging plane and looked around. That's when she saw a tribal man riding a bicycle nearby, heading off into the unknown. Anna waves down a cyclist for a ride. She hops onto the bicycle but struggles a bit to sit in the front. After a short while, they encounter a group of elephants blocking the path. They both fall off in the chaos. Cut to Steven. He goes back to retrieve his lost shoe. Once he picks it up and heads back, the same animal starts gnawing on it again. Steven realizes this creature isn't going anywhere, so the two of them, Steven and the animal, continue ahead together. Eventually, they rest under the shade of a large tree. Steven watches as the animal begins digging a hole in the ground. Sensing danger, he quietly sneaks away. Meanwhile, we're introduced to two new characters, one white, one black, constantly trying to capture each other. Sometimes the black man catches the white man, and sometimes it's the reverse. This strange cat and mouse game continues throughout their journey. Back in the jungle, Anna spots an old windmill. She realizes there's water inside it, but it only flows when the blades are turned. Climbing up, she spins the mechanism, and water starts pouring into a container. Just then, a monkey arrives and drinks the water. Anna shoos it away and climbs back up to turn the blades again. But the monkey returns, gulps down the water, and vanishes. Suddenly, a gust of wind spins the windmill on its own. Water gushes out. Anna, overjoyed, jumps in and bathes under the stream. After freshening up, she continues on her journey. Just then, the white and black men pass by again. The white man hides behind Anna for cover. Once again, the two start fighting. Anna uses the moment to her advantage. She grabs a gun and holds it on them, ordering them to surrender. She takes them hostage and tells them to move. Elsewhere, Steven has been stung by a scorpion. After walking a bit more, he collapses. At that moment, Kiku appears and helps him. Kiku then goes to find Anna and signals her to follow him. Anna follows Kiku and soon finds Steven. He's extremely dehydrated. Anna quickly gives him water, saving his life. All the white and black men leave the place. We then see a man sitting in a truck telling the driver, "You're going the wrong way." Just then, the boss calls and orders them to get there as quickly as possible. The driver immediately turns the vehicle around and heads back. Taking advantage of the moment, Kissa quietly jumps off the truck and starts running toward home. On the way, he notices hyena tracks on the ground. Startled, he begins running faster, and suddenly a real hyena appears and starts chasing him. Just as it's about to attack, Kissa grabs a large stick nearby. He remembers what his father told him: if you look bigger than the hyena, it won't attack you. Using that advice, he makes himself look larger and keeps running. But the hyena doesn't give up. It's still right behind him. Kissa is sprinting, terrified, when a truck suddenly approaches from behind. It nearly runs over him, but he narrowly escapes. Still being chased, Kissa grabs another stick lying on the ground, but luck isn't on his side. The stick breaks in half. He runs toward the mountains, trying to find a place to hide, but the hyena continues to pursue him. Meanwhile, Kiku sees a large vehicle approaching. He tries to flag it down, but the truck doesn't stop. Kissa sits down by the road, exhausted and overwhelmed, and begins to cry. Elsewhere, she, who had been searching for his children, spots the same truck driving by. After it passes, he manages to climb onto it, hoping to find his children inside, but they're not there. Suddenly, she jumps out in front of the truck. The driver slams the brakes and she falls hard to the ground. The men in the truck get out and capture him, worried he might report them. Because the truck is carrying illegal elephant tusks, they decide to take she with them. Meanwhile, Anna, tired from walking for so long, is waiting by the road, hoping for a ride. Just then, the same truck passes by. She waves it down. She sees a chance to escape and climbs out of the truck. Anna rushes to help him, but the man from the truck grabs her and holds a gun to her head. At that moment, Steven, standing nearby, is told to lower his weapon. As soon as Steven puts down his gun, the man quickly ties up all four of them. Then he heads toward the mountains to call his boss. Since there's no signal in the area, he tells another man to keep an eye on them, but in a twist of fate, that man accidentally shoots himself in the foot. Seeing an opportunity, the group tries to escape. A short while later, when the driver sees them running, he is shocked and starts shooting at them. Somehow, the four narrowly dodge the bullets. Frustrated, the truck driver sets the forest bushes on fire, hoping the flames will consume them. As the fire spreads, animals flee in every direction. She, one of the key characters, desperately tries to save everyone's lives. Convinced that Steven and Anna may have seen his children, she asks them. One of the men replies, "Yes, we saw kids who looked like yours. They went that way." Overjoyed, she thanks them and heads off to find his children. Meanwhile, Steven and the others plan to capture the poacher. They scatter and confuse him. In a critical moment, Steven holds the poacher at gunpoint and manages to capture him. The poacher learns his lesson and is sent to jail. We then see Kissa spotting animal tracks. He realizes Kiku is nearby and starts calling out loudly. Eventually, they reunite and break down, crying in joy. Back in the forest, the two men help get the plane ready. Soon the plane takes off toward the hotel. As they near the hotel, romance sparks between them, but suddenly, Anna gets caught in a hole on the plane. Steven manages to land the plane safely, and they decide to get married. Meanwhile, she finds his children and is overwhelmed with happiness. The three of them cry tears of joy and begin their journey home. This emotional story ends on a heartwarming note. This movie was truly beautiful. We hope you enjoyed the video.